In this session, we will consider the 11 elements that make up the process of Scrum as described in the Scrum framework. First, let's identify the roles in a Scrum team. The Scrum Master is the coach for the team and the organisation in implementing Scrum, so that all the benefits of Scrum may be gained through effective implementation. The Scrum Master is a management role that manages the effective implementation and understanding of the Scrum framework within the organisation. They also need to be considered a senior enough organisational role so that they are confident to discuss impediments at any level within the organisation. The product owner should own the product in an entrepreneurial manner, providing the vision to the Scrum team of the value the product should deliver. Through this vision, the product owner maximises the value of the work delivered by the developers. Through actively owning the product backlog as a living artifact, they maximise the amount of work not done. Therefore, you can consider the product owner as the value optimizer. The developers is the term for those who carry out the work in a Scrum team. They are a collection of professionals who work to deliver a potentially releasable increment of done products at the end of each sprint. Next, let's consider the 3 artifacts in Scrum. The product backlog is a living artifact, describing the vision of the product through the product owner adding items to the backlog that will deliver the value expected from the product, and the developers refining the backlog items so that they can technically be delivered in a sprint. Where items can be removed is no longer needed, not likely to deliver the expected value, or that this value can be delivered in another manner, then the product owner should do so in order to maximise the value of the work not done. The sprint backlog forms the plan of the items that the developers expect to deliver through the sprint. This may be broken down and described as tasks they intend to complete in order to deliver each product backlog item, or as tests that describe the work that must be completed so that each backlog item can be considered done. The done increment is the accumulated increments of all sprints completed so far in order to deliver the product. If you are at the end of sprint 1, then the done increment will be the output from only that sprint. However, if you are at sprint 11, then the done increment is the accumulated work of all preceding sprints, as well as the output from the newly completed sprint 11, which comprises the potentially shippable product. Every time the product owner releases the done increment to their customers, this provides a feedback loop to the vision and therefore the product backlog based on the customer's reaction to the release. Now let's identify the events in Scrum that connect the roles to the artifacts and build the feedback loops. The first event that occurs within a sprint is the sprint planning. This allows the Scrum team to plan the work that will be undertaken during the current sprint. In sprint planning, a sprint goal will be identified, and the developers along with the product owner will select items from the product backlog and place them in the sprint backlog in order to deliver the sprint goal. The event in which the developers participate to synchronize their work is called the daily Scrum. This gives the developers an opportunity to inspect the work of the last 24 hours and adapt their plan for the next 24 hours. The sprint review is an opportunity for the Scrum team and its stakeholders to participate in the inspection of the work that has been produced to meet the sprint goal, and how this progresses the development of the overall solution. The outcome from the sprint review provides a feedback loop to both the product backlog and the choices made during sprint planning. One thing you can be assured to have as an outcome from your sprint review is an updated product backlog, even if it is agreed that the current order is correct. The retrospective is the opportunity at the end of the sprint in which the Scrum team can inspect its implementation of Scrum as a process framework. The interactions of the people within the team, as well as any required skills in order to deliver the solution while reviewing these to consider opportunities for continuous improvement, is also discussed. This provides an improvement feedback loop for the Scrum team, which should take at least one continuous improvement goal into each sprint as a target to achieve. The last event that we will list is a special event called the container event. This is the actual sprint itself, which has been termed as a container event because all activities of Scrum occur within a sprint. In the Scrum framework, there is no activities, events, or other actions that will be carried out outside of the actual sprint. Therefore, the length of the sprint should be such that allows you to carry out all the work to deliver a done and complete increment of the product within this time box. And that's been the 11 elements of Scrum. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and please check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter.